Hello little buns, it is Steph. Welcome back to my home. If you guys are here because you want to hear about my consultation with Dr. Spiegel for my facial feminization surgery, just keep on watching. It's going to be closer towards the end, or you can skip to a certain point. Don't know when that'll be, but just look for it, you know what I mean? I'll put it in the description box where I start talking about it. I am here, barefaced and naked. Not really. To talk to you some more about the news. What's the scoop, you know, on my transition? What's up, girl? And I'm not going to be talking about fat redistribution, or, you know what, actually I'm going to. I have noticed a lot recently my lower back has like fat on it, which didn't happen before. I've gained quite a bit of weight, if we're being honest. I'm not mad about it, it's fine. But I'm noticing it is gathering on my lower back. Like when I have a mirror, okay, oh my gosh. I've got a mirror in my bathroom on the wall, and then on the back of the door I have another mirror. So when I'm looking in the mirror, I can see behind me, so I can see what my hair looks like and stuff, which I thought was the original purpose, but really it's just to look at your butt and like think you're really hot. In the mirror though, I can see that the fat is really gathering on my lower back and it's starting to resemble hips. It still isn't like round and hippie, you know, but it's gathering there, and that's definitely new. That's about it for fat stuff, you know. A really big thing I wanted to talk to you about was the development of my facial hair problem. Today I had my last laser appointment until I'm done FFS. You have to stop doing laser treatments or electrolysis 6 weeks in advance from your appointment. February 2nd is my next laser appointment, and I really feel like I've kicked testosterone poisoning's ass, because I guess since I've started transitioning, I haven't been able to leave the house without makeup on. But I went shopping today after my laser appointment like this, barefaced. Except I might have put a little bit of highlighter on to catch that light. But like that's, I don't have like a full face of foundation on. And I didn't have this on when I was shopping, okay? I had no makeup on when I was shopping, literally none. And I felt okay, I felt confident. I got a coffee at Starbucks. I went to Red Sox, bought some shoes. I went to this cool like thrift store and bought some earrings, and I did not even flinch. And I used to not even be able to like, I used to not be able to take my garbage downstairs to the garbage area in my apartment building without putting makeup on. So that is a huge thing for me. And I think what actually has happened to make this easier for me has been a combination of laser, which has absolutely been doing a lot, but also I've started plucking my face, which sounds about as torturous as it sounds. I mean, it is about as torturous as it sounds. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about plucking your face. I do recommend it if you cannot afford getting laser right now, or if you literally can't stand the pain of laser. If you, for some reason, do not want to do laser or electrolysis at the moment, but you also want your facial hair gone, and you experience 5 o'clock shadow when you shave, which, you know, is a hassle to deal with, plucking your face may be a great solution. Hurts like a bitch. Your face will swell up a lot. I was sitting there, I actually plucked my face for 2 days straight. From the afternoon on one day until literally 9 p.m. the next day, I was watching Netflix and plucking my face. That's what I was doing with my time. It was therapeutic almost. It's almost like a tattoo, because it's like you pull it out, you feel that pain, and then you're like, ooh, the hair's not gonna grow for like a week at least, which is amazing. Now for me, waxing has not worked. I've tried waxing with wax strips, with a literal pot of hot wax that you put on and then you pull off yourself. I've tried naring my face. Like, none of this stuff works. In fact, most of it actually burns me. But plucking eliminates the 5 o'clock shadow. I don't have to shave in the morning. I wake up and I feel like a glorious angel baby. Like, it's amazing. So I would recommend, if you would like to try it, that you try it. Because now that I don't have laser until February 2nd, I'm gonna be plucking my face every time I see a hair. If you are currently undergoing laser, don't pluck your face. I did it because I thought it would grow back much faster than it did, because last time I did it, it grew back in like 2 or 3 days. But this time it's been like 5 days and it still isn't really showing up. And I'm like, oh hallelujah, hello. That also means that the laser can't really work on those hairs because they have to be in a certain state of growth, and that state of growth is most commonly existing right after you shave, is the idea. Don't pluck your face if you're undergoing laser, because you're gonna waste your money, but pluck your face if you don't wanna do laser, or you can't do laser, or whatever, you know what I mean? Amazing. Changed my life. Like, I've never felt more comfortable looking at myself without full face of makeup on. I don't even have my brows done. And now I'm gonna be talking about my consultation with Dr. Spiegel for my facial feminization surgery. Because I live in Canada and I'm nowhere near Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States of America, which is where I'm going to be with Dr. Spiegel for my surgery, I wasn't gonna, you know, go there for a consultation because that would be hugely expensive. So what I did was a Skype consultation instead, which I think cost around $100. I'll put the link to Dr. Spiegel's website in the description box, and I'm gonna be referencing photos and stuff that I'll put in the video, but if you wanna see everything about Spiegel, Spiegel, just go there. You can read all about it, see before afters, like it's amazing, lots of information. You can also contact them through that website. So I reached out to them by email. I sent them like a picture of my face without makeup on at the time, which at the time was this. And as you can see, my face has changed a lot because this consultation occurred in January of this year. And we booked our consultation, $100 like I said, to Skype. And that might sound steep, but this is kind of like a ticket to getting your surgery, and also you get a quote. And then when you actually book your surgery, the $100 comes off of your bill. So in a way, if you are set on taking Spiegel, or you really think you want to do Spiegel, it's worth it because it just goes into your surgery cost anyway. But if you're still researching surgeons, just be really sure before you book a consultation with one and you pay the $100, because $100 can be a lot of money in a lot of ways. He was very kind, very professional. There wasn't like, he was friendly and he was like, he joked a little bit, but it wasn't a super casual, like he wasn't smoking a cigarette, drinking whiskey. Like it was very, I felt like I was at a doctor's office. You know what I mean? It wasn't a weird situation. He had me turn my face a few different directions. He looked me over. He was like, yeah, okay, I see your face. He didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like he was observing my features, and he recommended a few different things. I knew that I wanted a brow reduction and something with my jaw and chin. I wanted something happening there, but I wasn't super knowledgeable about the options that I had. And he went ahead and recommended that I do a brow bone reduction, which is what I wanted for sure, a mandible contour, which is the official word for jaw reduction. He recommended I do a trachea shave, which, you know, is this little bad boy, which is really subtle right now because I have a little bit of extra weight right now, like a little bit of cushion, you know? And he recommended lip lift. Okay, the lip lift is the one extra recommendation that I didn't know I wanted that I took. And that is basically where they enlarge your upper lip. So it's like lip injections, but it looks more natural and it's more permanent. I was adamant that he not give me a Cupid's bow because I don't have one. I don't want a different lip shape. I just want a larger upper lip. And the reason that he recommended this and the reason that I agreed to do it is because generally, and this is gonna be very gender binary stuff, and I am absolutely not about upholding, you know, the men and women are different in every single way. But for somebody that experiences dysphoria and for somebody that literally does their lipstick to enlarge their upper lip every single day, this is helpful and it makes me feel better, so I'm doing it. Generally, with feminine faces, there's less space between the upper lip and the nose, right? So it's like less space here. But because I have a very flat upper lip, there's a fair amount of space proportionately in that area. So by reducing that, it will feminize my features. And that's why I'm doing that one. The other thing he recommended that I'm not taking is cheek implants. Because the consultation was 10 months ago, I knew that estrogen was gonna do a lot for my face in terms of fat redistribution, and my cheeks have 100% absolutely filled out. I don't feel the need for cheek implants, and I knew that I probably wouldn't. And I have a little bit of, I don't wanna say fear, but I have a little bit of caution regarding implants in the face, just because my face is quite large and the idea for me is to reduce it. But of course, having round, full cheeks is kind of a feminine feature, so I understand why he recommended that, and it would make sense for a lot of girls. But because I was so early in estrogen, I didn't think it was responsible for me to include that in my quote. They included it in the quote anyway, but I could take it out if I wanted, so that was fine. Now, because I literally cannot tell you exactly how much it is, but I can give you a rough bracket, the surgeries that I wanted are in the mid $30,000 range, US dollar range, and the early $40,000 range, Canadian dollars. Their prices very well may have gone up since then, I don't know. I know that I ended up booking the surgery at the last possible day I could before my quote was ineligible, because they give you 6 months after the quote to be like, here's your price, you know, if it's 6 months later, you have to do another consultation and there's a new quote. So I booked it on the last possible day and I kept my price. But if I had done it a day later, it might have been more money, I don't know. So just keep that in mind when you're booking the surgery. There's no way for me to know how much it's gonna cost for you, but just know that it's gonna be quite expensive. Now, the reason I chose Spiegel, one of my friends and somebody I consider a mentor for me in terms of my physical transition and my medical transition went to Spiegel, and her results are angelic and incredible. Gigi Gorgeous went to Spiegel. Her face looks beautiful. The thing to keep in mind is the doctor has a style, but that does not mean that every single person he does is going to look the same, all right? I'm not gonna come out looking like Gigi Gorgeous because my face is completely different to start with. I don't want anybody to feel like, you know, I chose Spiegel because I want to look like Gigi, you know, because that's not physically possible. She's beautiful, but like, I'm not Gigi Gorgeous. The reason I chose Spiegel is because his style is subtle. It's, you know, carving away bone to reveal softer shapes. It's not about making bigger, rounder shapes. It's about reducing and creating soft shapes. And I think that's what I need and what I want. There are many styles of FFS. There basically are two main ones, though, that you have to be aware of when you're researching. There is one style where you add roundness with something that's basically like fake bone. It's like bone concrete or something like that. I don't know the exact words, but it's basically fake bone. They add it to your skull to create rounder shapes. If you want an example of somebody that had FFS like that, I'd recommend looking at Raiden Quinn, because I know her FFS was the opposite of what I'm getting. My style that I'm going for is where they reduce the bone by literally reducing the bone, like shaving it down. In some situations, depending on your skull, they may have to literally move the bone back, like break it and reposition it. I'm not an expert on when that has to happen, but the idea is reduce the bone or increase the bone to create round shapes. So it's two different styles. And depending on what you have to start with, you may want a different style. Neither one is wrong or worse. It's literally just depending on what you want and what you have to start with. Both methods are totally respectable, great options, just you need to know what you want. So that's why I recommend doing a wealth of research before deciding on what surgeon you want. I will say with 100% certainty that I love Dr. Spiegel's work. I will put a few before-after pictures from his website on here. I'm not stealing these photos from girls that don't want them online. These are from his website. They sign consent forms. I'm sure they won't mind. Pictures around me of Spiegel's work before and after stuff. If you want to see more, you can go to his website in the description box and look at all that stuff. Overall, the consultation and booking the surgery was very pleasant. I spoke with a woman, I don't know if I should say her name. Let's call her Caroline. That's not her real name, but I'm gonna say Caroline because I don't want to reveal identities and stuff. She was so pleasant and so helpful and so wonderful, so understanding. Spiegel does specialize in facial feminization surgery for transgender women. He does a lot of work on other people too. But because his main audience is trans women, the staff know how to treat trans women, know how to interact with us. So there was not a moment when I was on the phone or in an email with anybody where I felt like they didn't have my best interest at heart or they didn't understand what I was going through or things like that. Bra strap, moving on down, going down the hill. Let's come on, hike it back up. Thank you, thank you. One last thing I want to do is show you my face in its pre-surgery glory. Right now, I'm gonna pull all the hair out of the way. I'm gonna get rid of this light that's creating pretty lights, because it's also distorting my face shape. So you guys can see exactly what I'm starting with, and then I can use this footage later to create a Pokemon evolution meme where I come out with my surgery done, you know what I mean? Gonna be cute. Just to highlight again what I'm getting done, mandible contour, number 1, which is the jaw. If I put my head up like this, you can see it's a very square shape, which is not what I want. So this will be entirely different. This is probably the biggest noticeable change from what I'm getting done. The next thing is a lip lift. So with my lip, it will be lifted. There's not really a way for me to simulate what it's gonna look like because I can't. The next thing is Trachea Shave, which is this little bad boy, which is again not very visible right now, but is there. You know, it's just hiding. That will be gone. I don't know if I'll have a scar from that, but everything else pretty much will be scarless. And then the last thing is a brow bone reduction, which from the front you can't really tell a lot, but you can see where the light hits right here is gonna be much flatter and much smoother. The light hitting there is because I have a brow ridge that juts out right here, which is very, 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 very common in trans women and in a lot of cis women too. It's not unheard of in cis women, and it most certainly is not an ugly feature. It's not a feature that you should consider vile, okay? It's just in my personal experience as a transgender woman with dysphoria, it gives me shit, so I want it gone. Just to give you a side view of the brow bone, I hope this is making it visible, but this is going to be way flatter, and that is going to change the way my eyes look, which I don't really, it's not gonna change the shape. I'm still gonna look like my wonderful Wardenberg syndrome goddess self, okay? But it's gonna open my eyes up a little bit, my brows will be different. It's not gonna be drastic, but it will have a slight impact on the way my eyes look. And I'm excited about that because I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like. As the surgery draws closer, I am getting a little bit nervous. I'm not worried. I keep on seeing this image in my head because I'm gonna be doing like a little series of vlogs going up to the surgery and after the surgery. And I keep on seeing this image of me in my head where I'm rolling into the operating room and I'm not quite asleep yet. Like this is such an extra image, like I'm being really extra right now, but just listen. I just like have this image in my head of me like putting up my hair like rock and roll before I go in, and then I go through the doors and they close. And then I start like panicking. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, I can't explain it. It's just an image I see in my head. And I'm gonna try my best to make it happen, but you know, maybe I won't. It's whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, I'm super excited. So excited to get this happening. 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks till my surgery. I'm starting this new series called FFS Diary, I guess, Facial Feminization Surgery Diary. So when I upload new content that is relevant to this procedure, you can see it by going to this playlist, which literally only has this video right now, but you know, you'll see. You'll see. It'll be okay. Until next time, just keep it cool, be calm, you know, just chill out, do your best, moving forward, you know. You are... What are you this time? You know what you are? You are the hair clip that's gonna hold my hair up when I'm recovering from this surgery and looking like a mess. You are gonna be there for me to make sure that no hair is getting all up in my open wounds and shit. So that's gonna be fun. You have a job to do. I love you so much. Until next time, you know, I love you. Bye.